The British government is divided over whether or not to sign off on a comprehensive trade deal with Australia. UK ministers disagree over giving Australian farmers access to the British market, which would risk a backlash from the farming industry. The UK has announced it was finalising the deal ahead of the G7 summit next month. Well, for more on this subject, let's go to London now, where we can talk to Sam Lowe. He's Senior Research Fellow at the Centre for European Reform, an independent think tank. Well, thanks for taking time to speak to us here on the programme. Well, this doesn't sound like the most environmental thing to do these days, making a deal with a country on the other side of the world. Why is the UK pursuing this?
Well, I think you have to put it in the broader context of both the UK leaving the European Union and this government's desire to be a bastion of free trade globally. And in that context, a trade agreement with Australia is a priority, along with another trade agreement with New Zealand. And I suppose there's a feeling in government that if they can't get these ones done, then it might be quite difficult to get anything done in future. So I fully expect this to be concluded in the next couple of weeks.
OK, so tell us why it is that British farmers are up in arms over this then.
So the big controversy here over this agreement has been around how much access to offer Australian farmers to the British market. And the debate has never been around whether to offer them none at all, but it's about how much. And some in Cabinet would rather that it was limited, so that the UK's offer was to do something called tariff rate quotas, which limits the amount of product that could enter the UK tariff-free. And then other bits of government would like to offer duty and quota-free trade, so that means zero tariffs, albeit phased in over a very long period of time, so 15 years. And it seems like that group that wants duty and quota-free trade phased in over a long period of time has won the day. And I suppose the reason for that is that they need to get this done quickly. They want to get it done before the G7, and whilst it could be possible to negotiate some slightly reduced aspects, that would mean the negotiations would drag on for longer, as have the EU and Australia negotiations over exactly the same issue.
Yeah, well, I can see the potential benefits as you've outlined them for Britain, but how could this negatively impact the EU?
I don't think it really has any impact on the EU at all. I suppose it sets some slight precedent for Australia, in that if the UK offers Australia duty and quota-free trade, they might turn to the EU and say, well, we want the same. But the EU is still well within its right to say, no, we're not going to offer you that. We're going to have to talk about something more limited. But that will, of course, lead to those negotiations dragging on for longer, and perhaps there's some political damage done to the EU if the UK shows itself to be more flexible and able to conclude trade agreements more swiftly. But I don't think we should overstate that.